So you're thinking about moving out of the city to the country. What are the top 3 reasons that people are heading out of the cities to the country? Live happy, fun-loving, and carefree. So I just read a study this morning that says millennials, young people, that 1 in 3, a third, more than a third, of young people are thinking about, if they live in a big city and they're renting an apartment, they are thinking about making a decision to move out of a city to live somewhere else. Why? What are the top 3 reasons that people are thinking about living, particularly young people in today's world? Cost of living, and number 3, cost of living. Cities are all of a sudden insanely expensive to live in. And, why did people move to cities in the first place? Why are young people in particular attracted to the cities? One is, job opportunities. There's more jobs in a big city. You're probably going to make more money at your job in a big city. There's social activities. There's more people to associate with, to make friends with, to hang out with, walking distance to shopping and eating and all of those things. If it's not walking distance, you jump on public transportation and you're there in a few minutes. Restaurants to eat at, museums, shows, concerts. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the benefits of living in a big city, which is, of course, why people move to the big cities. Things obviously have changed, and all of those amenities aren't necessarily available now. And it's a sad thing, but, because there is a big difference. When you live out in the country, there isn't a lot to do sometimes. When we go to town, we shop at the grocery store. Then we go to the big box store. Then we go to the home improvement store. And then we say, hey, you want to go out to lunch? Would you rather go to restaurant A or restaurant B? Well, let's see. We ate at restaurant B last month, so let's eat at restaurant A. There's not a lot of choices in the country. But you can't do those things in the city now. 1, they're all closed down and they're not even available. And 2, everything is just crazy expensive. So people, young people and everybody is thinking of moving to the country. So you're making the decision to move to the country. What are a few facts, a few things that we've done, we've moved several times, that will make it easier for you to move? Number 1, the absolute thing to do is make a date on the calendar. Buy a regular, real paper calendar that you hang on the wall and pick your date. I would pick somewhere around 6 months down the road. It's going to depend on your situation, your family, and we're going to cover all that here in a second. But is 6 months in that neighborhood is a good thing. You don't want to make it too soon, like, next week, let's move, because you're not going to be able to accomplish it. And you don't want to say, well, in 5 years we'll move, because that's never going to happen either. Because the problem with us humans is, one of the sayings that I keep in my mind all the time, that I constantly, continuously think about, is people will remain the same until the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of changing. So, we stay in a job when we think we know we should switch. We, stay in an apartment when we know we should move, because it's comfortable, it's a known. So until that pain builds up to the point that forces us to change, and then what's the first thing that we say? Oh, why did I wait so long to change? So mark that date on your calendar. That's what we do. 6 months down the road, we're moving. And no matter what, it's carved in stone. When that day gets here, you're in your car, you start the engine, and you're heading on down the road. Pack up all them dishes. Make note of all good wishes. Say goodbye to the landlord for me. Sons of bitches always bored me. But you get the point. So mark your calendar. And immediately, the very first thing that you can start doing that day is simplify your life. simplify material things, simplify every aspect of your life. Do you need all those clothes that you have? Do you need all those shoes that you have? Do you need, all the credit cards and debit cards that you have? Do you, need all those services that you're paying for? Downsize everything right away, because you're not taking that stuff with you anyway. So you might as well, start getting rid of it from day one. Paying off debts, reducing payments, reducing all the stuff that you're hanging on to. Just get rid of everything. Simplify, simplify, simplify. The next thing then that you want to think about is your job. Now, an advantage of this awful situation that we're in today is a lot of people, probably you, have learned that you can work from home now in this high-tech world. So, because that was a thing that really held people back. Like I mentioned earlier there, that one of the reasons that people were attracted to cities is for jobs, higher paying and more choice. And that was a big deal, because if you moved out here to the country, there's not a lot to do. There's pretty flowers to look at and things. Today, people are all working online. I know people that have been working at home for the past year. They haven't gone into their quote office at all. So start thinking about the job that you have now. Can you continue to work at that job if you live out of the city, out in the country? Should you be thinking about, shifting to another job? And start doing that right away, because an issue that I do see is people pack up all their dishes and they get in their car and they move to a new town, and they've got enough money to live, for 2 or 3 months, and they think they're going to find a job, and they're in trouble. So simplify things and start thinking about the job that you have. Can you move and continue it, or do you need to start thinking about a new digital online world job that you can do? Amazingly helpful and lowers the stress if you know somebody. Can you move to a place where you have some sort of extended family? Maybe it's a second cousin, once removed kind of thing, but somebody that you don't just, leave Los Angeles and drive to, Missouri, and you literally don't know anybody. That's tough. So if you can know someone, a distant relative, a friend of the family, know someone in that area, and go visit the area. Spend some time where you want to live, because you may find that the place that you really want to live isn't necessarily the best fit for you, because you're living in a city and now you're moving to the country or a small town, and the things that you think that you are important to you might not be. I like the fresh air. I like being able to just go for a walk in the woods. I like to be able to throw the ball or the toy with our dog and play fetch and catch, and just walk around and not see anybody literally for days. Think about what's important to you. I think it's awesome that people are leaving the cities. Hey, where are people going to? That's a great question. In the Northeast, if you like New England, Vermont is a popular state. People are moving into Vermont. If you like the Northwest, out on the West Coast, Oregon and Idaho are real popular. People are moving to those states. Down in the Southwest of the country Arizona is really popular. Lots of people are moving to Arizona. And in the Southeast, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida are really popular. And even Alabama is becoming popular now too. So think about those things. People are exiting New York, Illinois, and California as fast as they can. And one big thing here too is, because right now home prices are kind of crazy. They're going up like a rocket. And part of that is because building materials are triple what they were a few years ago. So building a new home is expensive. So that makes existing homes, that adds to the fact that they're more expensive, and the fact that people are staying in their homes because they don't want to move. So the people that are moving have less options. So something that, it's my opinion, and take it for what you think you should, But I just feel like sometimes if you're in a big city and you see homes that are, $1 million homes, $800,000 homes, and they're on postage stamp size lots, and then you come out here to the country and you see a home for $200,000, $400,000, and it's on 5 acres of land, and you're like, holy moly, that's incredible. I can't believe you can buy something like that. It's easy to get caught and overpay for something because relative to where you are in the city, it seems like a crazy good price, but the truth is that you may be overpaying in your enthusiasm to move to the country. So just weigh that and be careful that you don't get so excited and caught up that you get snookered into paying far more than something's really worth. But you may not have any choice today because homes are getting snapped up like crazy. Watch another video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. We want you to live happy, fun-loving, and carefree in a country home, and we want you to have a stress-free move. Cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. Simplify your life.